So, hello and welcome back yet again as I just sit in front of the camera and babble a little bit because I feel like it. And because, for whatever reason, sometimes doing these little vloggy videos is kind of fun. On an update note, as far as my face goes, I ate an actual meal today. And I don't mean an actual meal like pancakes and eggs, because I did do pancakes and eggs, what, last week, I think? It went okay, but that's still kind of soft food. Because, with enough butter and syrup, a pancake is almost a liquid. All right, not really, but still, it was, all very soft. And technically, what I ate today was still fairly soft. I did have some steamed broccoli. That was an experience. I ate most of it because it was delicious, but that was definitely the most painful part of my meal. But I made pulled pork. It was it was so good. I mean, I thought that the hamburger patty I had yesterday was amazing. The pulled pork was even better. Flavor is wonderful, but I had that with some au gratin potatoes. They were also really good. They're soft, so that wasn't that out of the realm of the ordinary. And a biscuit, which, I mean, I still can't bite into things, but darn it, I can break it up and eat my biscuit with a fork. So I was very excited about that. And then I went out on a walk. I didn't actually film any of it. I'm kind of regretful that I didn't bring the camera along because it was interesting. I actually went down 3 roads that I've never gone down before. And it's really kind of cool because the area that I live, there, and it's been bothering me for years because getting to the town closest to me should be easier. Or even like trying to go to the dump should be easier. There should be a road that just goes straight through, but there's not. And it always made me kind of wonder because when you're driving into town, there aren't even like very many little side roads that go off into the woods to the south of me. And I had asked my neighbor about it because she's been up here pretty much her whole life and she's older than me, so she knows a lot more about the area than I do. And she said it's pretty much because there's nothing back there that people really wanted to deal with because it's a lot of bogs. So I found a little 2-track road. Actually, I found 3 of them and I just followed them. They all dead ended, but the woods that are back there, they're almost more untouched, I guess. They're bigger trees, a lot less understory to them, a lot more cedars and hemlocks. So it makes sense that it's probably a lot of swamps back there. But it just made me kind of think, I'm going to keep looking for more roads back that way because it was really cool. Also, I startled a grouse while I was walking, or a partridge. I can't tell the difference. And it did that explode out of the bushes thing and made me jump about 5 feet. So that was fun. And while I was out walking, I was thinking about how much I love being up here. I love where I live, and I always have. And I was thinking about when I was a kid, and we used to come up to this very house that I live in now because my grandparents used to own it, and just how much fun it was. Like, you would come up, and back then there was a pull down ladder to get upstairs and all the kids would sleep upstairs. So my brother and I would sleep upstairs. And I was remembering that when I was a kid, there was a TV, but back then, I never wanted to be inside because who would want to be inside when there was all of this outdoorsiness? And, you were only up here maybe a couple weeks a year, so you had to take advantage of it. But if it rained, sometimes we would watch TV, but not very often because back then there was a set of rabbit ears that did nothing. There was a big antenna on the roof to try and get in the one television station that you could sometimes get in. Um, the only TV station in the area was from Marquette, and that's about 50 or 60 miles to the north, so usually you didn't even bother trying. But my grandparents, and I'm pretty sure it was my youngest uncles that collected it, but there was a cabinet in the living room, and it was always filled with old magazines and comic books. And I think me and all of my cousins, everybody who came up here, I think that was everybody's favorite thing to do at night was just sit down, go through the comic books. It didn't matter that you had read them all before because they were comic books and they were awesome. And when my grandparents died, before my parents bought this place from them, they they told a lot of the cousins and aunts and uncles to just, if they wanted anything before my parents bought the place to get it. And I don't know who got most of the comic books, but when I talked to my parents, they said that there still were a few. And so I still have those to this day, and I figured I would show them to you. It's even more fun now to look at them. I mean, they're old and they're not in good shape because they were all read by countless numbers of me and my cousins. But they're all pretty much DC comics. We've got the Human Fly here. I think the best part is like 35 cents for a comic book. That's pretty cool. We've got The Thing and the Black Panther. And on the back, you've got the sign up for the Louisville Slugger collector items. I love this stuff. This one, I don't remember. Well, no, I don't remember when exactly it was put out. This one might actually have been my late husband's, because I do have some comic books that are mine as well, but it's a reprint of the very first Amazing Spider-Man featuring the Punisher. This one is probably the oldest of the remaining comics, and that is Daredevil. You can tell it's older because it was only 15 cents. And then we've got The Power of Warlock. I remember reading that one a lot because I thought he was very cool. And the ones that I didn't read as often were the ghost stories. And then on top of that, and like I said, I'm pretty sure I've got a couple of cousins that probably, I hope they still have them. Like, that is my sincerest desire that they didn't like sell them to a collector. But I remember there were just tons of Archie comics, and we had Richie Rich comics, Casper the Friendly Ghost, and Windy comics. It was so much fun to just sit there and read at night and then go out during the day and go fishing or go out walking. I mean, that's kind of always been my thing, is just to take off and go walking. And it's kind of still my thing to this day. Another thing that I am looking forward to, although I think we only went when I was a kid, maybe 2 or 3 times, because my dad's vacations to the UP were never, or very rarely, at the right time. But I am going tomorrow to the Upper Peninsula State Fair, which is something that holds a lot of memories for me. Not necessarily the UP State Fair, because, like I said, I think we only went once or twice. I think we were only up in the area and were able to catch it. But state fairs in general they're a good time. And I think I've mentioned this before, but I feel like there are probably a lot of people who haven't really been around for all of my videos, and hopefully my videos are getting better, but I make no guarantees about that. But when I was a kid, we lived just north of 8 Mile in Ferndale, which is the town that's just north of Detroit. And I was one of the, I always thought, lucky ones, because all we had to do to go to the Michigan State Fair was just cross 8 Mile, because where I lived was literally right by one of the gates to get into the state fair. I think it was usually the like livestock people's gate, but they would still sell you a ticket over there. And I have a lot of good memories of just going to the fair and seeing the animals and all of the displays and seeing people's art. And it's kind of a good time. And there's cotton candy, which I'm looking forward to this year a lot. I don't think I'm going to be able to eat all of the delicious fair foods, but I know I'll be able to eat the cotton candy, and I am really looking forward to it. I'm definitely going to be bringing the camera. I don't know how much I'll get. I get really I don't like to film other people, especially without their permission. And in big crowds like that, it's kind of hard not to film other people. But I will probably at least get video of anything cool that I see. Anyone that does give me permission, like sometimes the forest rangers will be like, "Sure, you can film while I'm doing this." And any maybe of the displays, they have an area at the Upper Peninsula State Fair that they call the Steam Village, and they have like old-timey stuff. They've got old sawmills. There's usually somebody that does like chainsaw carving. I think the last time I went, there was somebody with a really cool knitting machine that kind of could make like hats and socks. It was very cool. It's the historical stuff that I like, and the animals. So hopefully I will have a video for you of the fair. And yeah. Also, let me know, were you a comic book kid? I'm kind of curious. I always liked reading them. I didn't buy very many of them as a kid. And then later on, I did start collecting comic books for a little while when my late husband was alive. We were both really into X-Men back then, which I find funny because so much of what I grew up on was DC. I discovered X-Men as an adult and went through a very intense X-Men phase. So yes, I have seen the movies too, and I do like them. They're hokey, but I like them. That being said, I still haven't seen the new Deadpool movie. I would like to. I just have not managed to actually get out and see a movie in a couple of years. Maybe I'll do it though. But anyway, thank you for listening to me ramble. Hopefully, I will have some more interesting content. I think I'm going to learn how to make soap this year. Probably not full-on soap using like lye. That might be a bit above my pay grade, but I was thinking I might make some soap this year. I went out today and harvested Probably not enough. I'm probably going to have to go get some more, so it's a good thing that it grows everywhere. But I'm going to try making wintergreen extract over the winter. So I'll let you know how that goes. But thank you for listening to me babble. Didn't mean to keep you quite this long, but I start talking and I never shut up. Anyway, thanks for listening to me, and I will see you next time.